Hello everyone, welcome back to the part 2 of the 8th Science Chapter 1 session. Let's recall, there is no need of recalling for part 2. I think we have left, yesterday we left till cultivator. Let's continue today with the next topic, that's sowing. Yeah, sowing is an important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality, clean and healthy seeds of good variety are selected. Remember this keyword, you should never forget that healthy seeds and good quality. Good quality is because good quality and healthy seeds are because for nutrition you should get a good nutrition from what the plant what the crops you get, that should provide you the sufficient nutrition, so it should be healthy. And to plant a good healthy plant, we need to start from the basic step, that is sowing with a good and hygienic seeds. Selection of seeds. One day, I saw my mother put some gram seeds in a vessel and pour some water on them. After a few minutes, some seeds started to float on top. I wonder why some seeds float on top of the water. Yeah, most commonly, everyone are familiar with such situation. If not, you can try. Here is a small activity 1.1 for you guys. Take a vessel and fill half of it with water. Put a handful of wheat seeds. Stir well, mix it well. Wait for some time. Let's, if possible, you guys start with this activity. It's helpful for you. Let's continue. Are there seeds which float on water? Yes, you will notice some seeds that floats on water. Yeah, that's because that's mentioned here. Would this be lighter or heavier than those which sink? The one which floats is heavier or lighter is this question. Why would they be lighter? They will absolutely lighter when compared to the sinked one, because damaged seeds become hollow. Hollow means the shape of the seeds will be exact the same as the other one, but the content inside the seeds are empty, there is nothing, and are thus lighter because of the empty content within the seeds that make that hollow, and that's lighter, therefore they float on water. This is a good method for separating good healthy seeds from damaged ones. If there is nothing, no content, or it's empty inside the seed, then there is no sufficient nutrition and the seed is not properly healthy. Therefore, this is one of the method to separate the healthy one and non-healthy one. Before sowing, one of the important tasks is to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. Figure 1.2. Let's see the tool. This is the tool. You can see here. You can see the tool here. Yeah. Sorry. Let me show. This tool we saw yesterday. That's plow. This is the seed sowing tool. You can clearly see there. Yeah. Let's continue reading. The tool used traditionally for sowing seeds is shaped like a funnel. You know, funnel, it's also used for collecting some liquids. The seeds are filled into the funnel. Seeds are filled by the farmer into the funnels, passed down through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. The ends are too sharp so that they can penetrate in the soil. This ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. You can see here the farmer the farmer is using the funnel to sow seed, and it's going penetrating into the soil so that it can sow the seeds within the soil. Traditional method of sowing, that's the one of the traditional method. See, seed drill. Nowadays the seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. We saw cultivator yesterday, and this is the seed drill. The next step is also used tractor. That's why farmer uses tractor in most of his professional life. This sows seeds uniform. This sows the seeds uniformly at equal distance and depth. It ensures that seeds gets covered by soil after sowing. That's important. If soil is not nourishing the sown seed, then the seed is not possible to grow. The nourishment of the soil is required for the sown seed. This protects seeds from being eaten by birds. It's also important that the birds, for their food, they will be in search of food, in the fields. They will possibly look some seeds on the field, and they will take them as a food for them. But that's not the requirement of the farmer. Farmer should look at the safety of this own seed also, so it should be covered by the soil. Sowing by using a seed drill saves the time and labor. Yes, time in the sense the tractor is run by fuel, whereas the bulls are run manually. So the machine, that is tractor, can work at fast rate compared to the manual one, and the labor is for tractor, it's one of the people is sufficient, but not in the case of manual. There is a nursery. Nursery is not the one you see in school. Nursery is in the sense the place where some precious or some rare plants are grown. Near my school, I found that little plants were kept in the school small bag. Why are they kept like this? He asks a doubt. Seeds of a few plants, such as paddy, are first grown in nursery. When they grow into seedlings, the seedling is small plant, they are transplanted to the field manually. The process is manually. Please remember, not with the tractor or something. Some forest plants and flowering plants are also grown in the nursery. Especially paddy is grown in the nursery before they are directly grown before growing directly in the fields. Appropriate distance between the seeds is necessary to avoid overcrowding of plants. This allows the plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients, and water from the soil. At times, a few plants may have to be removed to prevent overcrowding. See, as usual, you will be placed with a regular gap in the class. See, you can see one plant, two. Let me change the color. First plant, second plant, third plant, fourth plant. So after some times, when their roots penetrate into the soil, and when they start growing, the roots will spread over the area. So that they should not overlap. If you plant nearby, let's take this one, you plant here, after sometimes when the roots penetrating, they will start overlapping. So we should remove such plants if possible, and should maintain a uniform distance. Adding manure and fertilizers. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. Please take a note of the highlighted content. Manures, as told in the previous class, manures are required for providing nutrition to the growing plant, even fertilizers. They are like the nourishment, they provide nourishment for the crops. I saw a healthy crop growing in a farm in the neighboring farm. The plants were weak. Why do some plants grow better than others? Soil supplies mineral nutrients to the crop plants. Soil nourishes the growing seed. These nutrients are essential for the growth of the plants. In certain areas, farmers grow crop after crop in the same field. They grow continuously in the field throughout the year and even the next year. The field is never left uncultivated or fallow. The field will not be left as it is. They will cut throughout there, they will continuously growing some crops. Imagine what happened to the nutrients that's in the soil. What happened to the soil nutrient? Continuous cultivation of crops make the soil poor in nutrients. Please take down the point. The poor is because of the nutrients is taken by the crops continuously. Who will give the nutrients to the soil? That's therefore farmers have to add manure to the field to replenish the soil with nutrients. They will add manure and fertilizers for the replacement and replenishment of the nutrients in the soil. This process is called manuring. Manuring. Improper or insufficient manuring results in weak plants. You should manure in such a way that the manure should be equally distributed in the soil, and the soil should be capable of nourishing the seeds. Manure is an organic substance. Organic in the sense there is no chemical added, obtained from the decomposition of plants and or animal waste. Decomposition is degradation of the dead plants or animals. The energy obtained from the degrading the dead plants or animals. Farmer dumps the plant and animal waste in pits at open places and allow it to decompose. Farmer actually in his field makes a place and digs the place, and he dump everything there. He dump vegetables, he dump any dead leaves or dead animals nearby, and he will leave for some time so that they will decompose, and he will recover the manure obtained from the decomposition. That's it acts as a manure for the field. The decomposition is caused by some microorganisms and even earthworms. Yesterday they mentioned earthworm also, please remember. And the decomposed matter is used as organic manure. You have already learnt what about vermicomposting in class 6 previous year. The previous years. So there is an activity for you. Take moong or gram seeds and germinate them. Grow them. Select 3 equal sized seedling. Same sized seeds. Take 3 empty glasses or similar vessels. Mark them ABC. To glass A, add little amount of soil mixed with a little cow dung manure. In glass B, put same amount of soil mixed with a little urea. Remember, urea is a manure, one of the famous manure. Take the same amount of soil in the glass C. The soil must be same in the glass A, B, C, but glass A consists of cow dung, class B is of urea, class C without adding anything, empty. Now pour the same amount of water in each glass and plant the seedling in them. take care equally for all the three seedlings. Keep them in a safe place and water them daily. After 7 to 10 days, observe their growth. See, there is an activity prepared by some students. Preparation of the experiment. You can see the glass 1, 2, 3. They are germinating. One with cow dung, 2 with urea, 3 nothing, empty. Preparation of the experiment. See the growth. See, let's take the growth. See, there is some growth here in this level. Here the growth is up to this level, and there is growth in this level. Growing seeds with manure and fertilizer. Did plants in all the glasses grow at the same rate? Same pace. Pace in the sense rate. Which glass showed? See, the rate is different. Here, please don't see the height. Even this height is less, but see the quantity. Here only few layers, but here many layers. No layers, and also decrease in the height, in the crop's strength. But see, which glasses showed better growth of plants? In which glass was the growth fastest? Fertilizers are chemicals which rich in particular nutrients. See, fertilizers are made only to give nutrition to the seedling, so they are rich in nutrient. How they differ from manure? Fertilizers are produced in factories. This is the first difference. Some example of fertilizers are urea, which was in B, glass B, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. See, never forget NPK. Important example urea, and also please try to remember everything, all the example, please note them, and that will help you. The use of fertilizers has helped farmers to get better yield of crops. Fertilizers gives only nourishment, nothing else, such as wheat, paddy and maize. But excessive use of fertilizers has made the soil less fertile. If you cultivate throughout the year, and if you start adding artificially manure, that's nothing but fertilizers every year, it can tolerate up to some time. After that, the tolerance of the soil will lose. The soil lose the tolerance, so the soil become less fertile. Less fertile in the sense that's not suitable for growth. See, the soil become less fertile, that's not suitable for growth. Fertilizers have also become source of water pollution. See, when the rain occurs or when the farmer irrigates the land, the upper layer of the fertilizers in the field will be washed away by this water into the water bodies. That causes a severe problem to the water organisms. That's water pollution. Therefore, in order to maintain the fertility of the soil, we have to substitute fertilizers with organic manure, no chemical additive. That's organic manure. Or leave the field uncultivated in between two crops. See, leaving the field uncultivated is the less priority. The farmer gives the less priority for this option because he needs to grow something for his survival. So government also encouraged to do organic manure that will be helping the farmer in the right manner, so that the land so his land will not go less fertile. The use of manure improves soil texture as well as its water retaining capacity. Water retaining capacity in the sense the soil should hold water within it, so the plant can take the water from the soil that helps the plant to grow. It replenishes the soil with nutrients. The manure replenishes soil. Another method of replenishing the soil with nutrient is through crop rotation. Please, sorry, make an underline. Better crop rotation. Let's see what's crop rotation. This can be done by growing different crops alternatively, one after the other. Earlier, farmers in North India, Northern India, used to grow legumes as fodder in one season. Fodder is food for cattle. They used to grow legumes, one such plants. Okay, they used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. Wheat for commercial purpose. This helped in replenishment of the soil with nitrogen. Replenishment in the sense the legumes will add nitrogen to the soil when they are grown in the soil. Wheat consume nitrogen, legume add nitrogen. If you want show, I will show. This is wheat, let us assume, and this is legume. If farmer grow legume, then the legume will fix nitrogen, and the next alternatively he grows wheat, and wheat will consume nitrogen. So the field will be, there is no left nitrogen in the field, so he will again grow legume in the next year. So legume gets back again nitrogen to the field. Continues. This cycle continues forever. Farmers are being encouraged to adopt this practice. In previous classes, you have learnt about Rhizobium bacteria, one of the nitrogen fixing bacteria. Please take the note of that. That will be helpful if you are writing various competitive exams for your future. It's also helpful for your applicative mind. These are present in nodules of roots of leguminous plants. Leguminous plants is nitrogen fixing plants. Nodules is nothing but a node like structure. It's a node actually. The node which is present in the roots of the plant. See, if there will be small nodes. I have zoomed in for your understanding. There will be nodes. In such nodes, there will be a leguminous. There is a node for in the leguminous plants to store nitrogen. Next, difference between fertilizer and manure. Let's take the first difference. Fertilizer is man-made inorganic salt, artificially prepared. Manure is natural substance obtained by decomposition of cattle dung and plant residues, and also animal residues. Fertilizer is the second point. Please take note that it's not organic, it's inorganic. Manure is organic. You should make a note of that point also. Manure is organic, not that one. Fertilizer is prepared in factories, artificial, prepared in factories. Manure can be prepared in the field. As told before, the residues are put into a pit for some days. Fertilizers does not provide any humus to the soil. Humus, the left part of the excreted part by earthworms. Manure provides a lot of humus to the soils. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. They are respectively made only to get these parts into the plant. Manure is relatively less rich in plant nutrients, but overall manure is healthier than fertilizers. Advantage of manures. Let's see the advantage. The organic manure is considered better than fertilizers. This is because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. It provides best water holding capacity. It makes soil porous, due to which exchange of gases becomes easy. It is helpful for breathing of the roots. It increases the number of friendly microbes. Microbes is for decomposition. Microbes is for decomposition. It improves texture of the soil. The quality of the soil is improved. Irrigation. All living beings need water to live. All living beings, not only plants, including us. Water is important for proper growth and development. We all know that. Water is absorbed by the plant roots. See, water is absorbed by the plant roots, not nothing other than plant roots. There are some parts you will learn in your higher class, but plant roots are the main source of water to the plants. Along with water, minerals and fertilizers are also absorbed. For their nourishment, they will absorb. Plants contain nearly 90% water. See, 90%, more than half, approx the whole plant. Remaining 10% is the plant, and nearly almost everything is covered by water. Water is essential because germination of seed does not take place under dry condition. The seed will not crack if there is no water within it. Water will push the seed so that it cracks and the first seedling appears. Germination starts. Nutrients dissolved in water are transported to each part of the plant. The nutrients is not taken in a separate way. They are dissolved they are taken along with the water. They are dissolved within the water and they are taken along the water. Water also protects the crop from both frost and hot air condition. They will not let the plants to dry. They will keep plant moisture. To maintain the moisture of the soil for healthy crop growth, fields have to be watered regularly. See, the supply of water to crops at regular interval is called irrigation. Irrigation is important term. Water management for the crops. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop. Frequency is the number of times you have to water the plants. Number of times is nothing but frequency. Soil to soil and season to season. See, in rainy season you should water less, or sometimes there is no need of watering. In summer season you should water more. That's the requirement for that's the changes in the requirement for season to season. In summer, the frequency of watering is high. As I told, in summer the water will evaporate due to the high temperature. So you should there is a requirement of high water. Why it is so? Could it be due to the increase in the rate of evaporation of water from the soil and the leaves? Maybe. I am very careful this year about watering the plants. Last summer, my plants dried up and died. Yes, because of the evaporation, the plants get depleted of water, so they will die. Without water, they can't live. Sources of irrigation. The sources of water for irrigation are well, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams, canal. Sources. What is the meaning of source is that where do we get water? That's what sources mean. Let's go to next page. Yeah, traditional methods of irrigation. Traditional methods. The water available in well, lakes and canal is lifted up by different method. There is a well, if you have seen, it's very good. The well in the olden days were used for water used as water source. The water available in wells, the water is will be in some depth, so there is need of something like pulley or motor to get the water to the above heights. So canals are lifted by different methods, different regions for taking to the fields. Cattle or human labor is used in these methods. They will use some cattle like donkey or something, like horse, donkey, to lift the water, or human will lift the water by himself. So these methods are cheaper but less efficient. They can't lift much within less time. The various traditional ways are moat, pulley system. You can see the pulley here. This one is moat. Chain pump. Let me show the chain pump. Please remember, this mechanism is pulley here. What he is using is pulley. Chain pump. Can you see the chain pump here? This one. There is no pulley, but there is a chain pump. And third one is Dhekli. Yeah, you can see the Dhekli here. There is a stone at the end. They use a stone to pick the water. He lifts the water from here, and there is a stone to lift the water. Okay, next, Rahat, lever system. See the mechanism, the lever is this one. Can you see? This is the lever. Dhekli, the chain, and the pulley. Please remember the mechanisms also. Pumps are commonly used for lifting water. Motor pump, that will be adopted in your home nowadays. Pumps are commonly used. Okay, biogas, diesel, electricity, and solar energy is used to run these pumps. See, diesel it also causes air pollution. Biogas is good, but the source are bit limited. Electricity, the motor electricity which you will be used in your houses today, and the solar energy is used to run these pumps. You can see what the solar energy, you will see some plates, the energy is absorbed from these solar rays, that is used for these pumps. Modern methods, it's enough for the day. I think modern method will be covered in the part 3. Let's stop here, page number 8. Let's stop in page number 8. Let's continue the other thing in next class. Please take note of the highlighted points. Never forget this to remember. So important, and one of the potential question, one of such question they will really going to ask in your exam. Rhizobium bacteria, which is going to be asked for 1 marks. Please remember. Crop rotation term, if possible, please take down the definitions in one side of your notebook. You should recall all the definition. Urea, cow dung, and NPK, full form of NPK they will ask. That's it, manure and fertilizers. Enough of the day. Let's start the next modern methods in the next lesson, in the next part. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon.